Court activities have come to a standstill following a strike action by judicial service staff in the country. The workers are on an indefinite strike over unpaid allowances totaling some 16 million Ghana cedis. My colleague Gladys Oseredu has been to the courts this morning and brings us this report.
Obviously, it's a very frustrated young man who wants his case listened to, but well, the security will not allow anybody to enter. Hello, sir. How long have you been standing here?
About 1 hour.
1 hour. What time was your case?
It's supposed to be 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. So what has anybody told you that there's no listening today? Have you been told about the strike?
Only the security man is saying something, but like me, I don't know anything about it. So I'm still waiting my lawyer so that I can even find a date again.
But don't you have your lawyer's contact? Could you call him? Is it possible?
Yes. He said he's coming. So I'm waiting.
Okay. All right. So we're still getting to talk to a lot more people to find out from them how long they have been here, what's the way forward for them. Okay, I've seen this man. Hello, sir. Good morning. How long have you been standing here?
Almost about 45 minutes ago.
Okay. So are you aware about the strike? Has anybody said anything to you?
Nobody told us anything. They just came and then they told us that today they want to go to strike, so we don't know anything about it.
Okay, so now that you know they are on strike, what's next for you?
We only have to see our lawyer, and then whatever he tells us, then we can know. So we are waiting for our lawyer when he comes.
What kind of case is your case?
It's a somehow criminal case. I think court 4 so. So we are just waiting for our lawyer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it the kind of case that needs judgment very soon, or it can hold on because this strike is indefinite?
Well, we don't know, but our case is about 3 years ago. We started this case about 3 years ago, so we don't know when the case is going to end. We are just waiting for our lawyer when he comes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, sir. Right, so we'll make an attempt to enter the court and... Okay, let's see what's happening here.
Okay. I saw Marcus strike.
Are you also coming here for your case to be heard?
No. Me, I'm coming with one of my friends. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What kind of case is your friend's case?
My friend, it's a land case.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so at least yours is not such a hurry.
You say?
Yours is not such a hurry. Let me get to another person and find out. But currently we're still at the entrance of the Cocoa Affairs courts here at Accra, and obviously the gates, nobody is allowed to enter except the officials of the premises, lawyers who work here, the administrators who work here, staff who work here. They are the only ones who are allowed to enter at this very moment, but otherwise nobody else is allowed to enter the court premises. Hello, sir. Good morning. Good morning, sir.
Later, we'll get to another person.
All right. So, okay. So he's so frustrated he doesn't want to talk into our microphone. But hello, sir. Good morning. For how long have you been standing here?
I have a case at court 16. Then I just come here to attend the court. But I heard that there is a strike going on here. Yes, I just come here and I didn't hear any news from anywhere. So I called my lawyer. He said I should wait here. He is coming, and he will give me. Either they will give us a date. Well, that's why I'm standing here.
If I may ask, what kind of case is yours?
It's about a land case. A land case. We have a land case. Our company is between a certain chief and our company. And he say we have approached his land. Then we have he brought us to court as a plaintiff, so we are the defendants. Okay, so.
How long now have you been visiting the court?
It's about it's now about 5 years or 4 years.
Okay. Thank you so much. Hello, sir. Would you mind talking to us?
No.
You don't
it's okay.
Okay, right. Hello, sir. Good morning. Can I talk to you? What kind of case is your case, sir?
It's about fraud.
Okay, against you?
Yes. Not against me. I'm the plaintiff, so it's unfortunate that I join, and you come and meet such, we have nothing to say. We need to go back and come back maybe when they resume.
But what do you make of the strike?
I think it's not above government. You can sit and talk about it before even the strike will come on, because it is not a good omen for the country, because strike, it doesn't help the government to do what is expected to do. So I believe they need to sit down with them and fishing something out, whatever their grievances are. And I think it's easier than allow them to, go on strike. It disrupts a whole lot of things, businesses and everything is not going on, and it doesn't give the government credit. I think government should sit up. This thing is not something that is beyond government. That is what I can say for now.
So, well, that was my colleague Gladys Osei-Oredu earlier this morning at the Cocoa Affairs Court. We'll be touching base with that particular court and several other courts right here in the capital to find out what the situation is. But before that, let's take a quick listen to the president of JUSAG, Alex Nate, announcing the nationwide strike action yesterday.
The promises given us that today we will hear something concrete could not materialize. And that they are asking us to come back to you to ask for an extension of time. Because JUSAG is not a sole proprietor and an association and or a union of a membership up to over 5,000 nationwide, I had to come back and give you this update. I'm therefore here to announce to you that I do hereby declare a strike. I expect all of you to operate professionally and carefully. However, because we are shareholders of the judicial service and we have a huge stake in the property and the image of the judicial service, our security men are hereby directed to be at post nationwide. Even though you are the worst hit and the most disappointed, I believe because of your trust in me, you comply with this directive. Come around, be at post at every court premises nationwide and protect our properties.
Well, like you heard there, Alex Nate, he's the leader of the Judicial Service Staff Association of Ghana. You heard him announce the particular one. Let's touch base with some other regions. Let's get to find out what the situation is. Let's go now to the Upper West region, where our correspondent Rafiq Salam is standing by with the very latest on this in that region as well. Rafiq, good morning. What can you tell us about the situation there? Is it any different from what we are seeing here in Accra?
It's not all that different. In 1 year, we are having 3 courts. The first court that I visited was the West Circuit Court, which is just located at the heart of town. When I visited this court, there was only one person, there was only one litigant who is past 50 years of age, and he's having a case involving land, and he said he was not unaware of the strike embarked by JUSAG members. So we came and there was nobody in that particular court. So I moved to the Magistrate Court, Wa District Magistrate Court, where the picture is currently shown on the screen, where I have some few of people around that particular place, and some were sitting akimbo and others were standing. And then also there was no staff there. It was only the magistrate that was around. And then the police prosecutors, two police prosecutors also came around, and they were not able to do anything. The policeman who told me, one from who's the prosecutor, told me that they are not allowed to talk, but he says that he has about 10 cases that he was supposed to prosecute, and then because of the strike, he was going away. And then the last place I visited was the Wa High Court, where there was no judicial staff available at the time that I visited there. It was only the presiding High Court judge, presiding High Court Judge Justice Kwesi Boakye, who was around, and I also met the state attorney for the Upper West Region, Abdul Shakur Saeed, there, and also another lawyer from Accra who came all the way to the case. When he came, he met the strike, and so these were the three personalities that were at the West Court, and also the security man was also at the post. And so they told me about the inconveniences are involved because those get on strike, the books and whatever with the teachers staff, and so they can't work, and so they cancel it.
Okay, so Rafiq, let me ask, if I understand you clearly, some members of JUSAG are at post while others are not, based upon the things you've received so far from the place you've visited. Is that the case?
But you know, we must make a distinction here, and now the judicial staff, we have a judicial about judges, but
Rafiq, you might have to speak up a bit. I'm finding it a bit difficult here.
I'm saying that what do you call it? Be distinct in what we are saying, because we have the judicial staff,
yes,
and then we have the judicial staff. Talking about the judges and also the judicial staff, they are different.
Okay.
And so this is a strike entirely embarked by JUSAG members.
Okay, indeed.
The judges, the lawyers, the magistrates are not part of it.
Well, so in your region, you've seen members of the judicial service, not the judicial staff. You've seen some of them at post, or most of them at post.
Yeah. No, what I saw was the judicial staff were not there.
Okay.
But the judges, the magistrates were around, and even lawyers, they were there.
Okay. All right. You've been speaking to some people. You've told us the situation of one or two persons who've been inconvenienced by this. But is that a general picture across the divide?
Yes, that's a general picture, because the people are really worried to the marrow about what is really happening. Even the police prosecutors, and also, like I told the state attorney, are worried about what is really happening, because according to the state attorney for Upper West Region, Abdul Shakur Saeed, he said he has about 10 cases that he needed to prosecute today. And even some of them are serious cases, and so assuming that they are supposed to admit people to bail, so clearly means that that won't happen. And so he's pleading and begging on the voices that be really come to their aid in order to sort matters so that the people will return.
Many thanks to you, Rafiq Salam from Wa. That was my colleague Rafiq Salam reporting from Wa. But now the question is, how did we get to this place in the first place? The president has been highlighting aspects of their engagements with the minister.
Our first meeting was held on the 14th of this month.
And since then,
and the second is today. On each occasion, the minister and other representatives of government agreed that indeed the payment of these allowances have been unduly delayed and they must be paid. The first meeting, we were assured that today we will receive a concrete information on the payment. Unfortunately, when we met, there was no any meaningful indication. The same story was told. We, however, as leaders, felt that we should reluctantly take the word of the minister and his team and see what they are able to do by Friday. But when we got here, you were all present. You saw the resistance and the total rejection of these assurances we have had. Prior to our meetings with the minister, we had also written a series of letters. In March, we wrote to management, and you see, management of the Judicial Service are aware that these payments are done quarterly, and sometimes the quarter payments are made either in January or February. So when January, February, March elapsed and nothing was being said and or done about this payment, obviously they knew that the staff were not happy. The union wrote in March, there was no sign of response. And so we waited from March through April, from April to the 7th of May, when we issued another fortnight notice. It was a day to the expiry or expiration of our ultimatum that the minister called us. And so, by and large, this is actually what we have had to deal with.
Is it from 2014?
Yes, some of the allowances have been outstanding since July 2014. They are allowances for the overtime services of our security men. The rest have been outstanding since January, where we are looking at around a little above 16 million. Well, what we are talking about, you see, if you look at Article 127, it talks about judicial services, finance and subventions. And it requires of government to release votes that have been approved by Parliament. Government is supposed to release them quarterly to enable the judicial service cater for each expenses, which expenses include the payment of these allowances. And so anything short of that, okay, violates the provisions of that article.
So until you have declared a nationwide indefinite strike.
That's right.
And for the security men are still to...
Yes. This is to show that our intention is to preserve the image, the integrity, and the property of the judicial service nationwide. So our securities have been convinced, in spite of their displeasure, to be at post to cater for our facilities and to cater for those who are not affected by this strike.
What exactly will make the association make this decision?
It's very simple. Full payment of the outstanding allowances. Full payment of...
Not any reassurance again?
No.
Meanwhile, the Minister of Employment and Labour Relations, Haruna Idrisu, has been addressing some of the concerns of JUSAG.
We've been having a series of meetings with a section of organized labor. We started with the Judicial Service Staff Association Worker Group, who have raised issues relative to unpaid allowances and the fact that they need to have conditions of service so determined by the Judicial Council of Ghana, and to review whatever conditions of service existed in the past. We have some understanding that we will by Friday meet again to report on progress that have been made, but I'm optimistic that the allowances will be paid. Leadership, the Chief Justice, have already taken some initiative to assure them, even through the use of internally generated funds, but the workers are insisting on absolute and complete payment of it and not partial payment. So we have a certain understanding that they stay action, allow the judicial process and judicial administration to be ongoing, whilst government mobilizes to honor those outstanding obligations and allowances. What is important is that this is not allowances that are to be negotiated. They've already been determined, they are deserving. It's only we are in arrears, so we would honor those parts.
Well, we're taking a break here. When we come back, we have a lot more stories for you. Stay with us.